It is not hyperbolic to say that in Japan, CEDAW General Recommendation 39 has not been implemented at all. This is inextricably linked to the lack of case law in Japan, where indigenous rights have been successfully argued. In 2024, the Rapport Ainu lost their case on salmon fishing rights in the Sapporo District Court, which was the first case to invoke indigenous rights in its argument. Lack of recognition of collective indigenous rights in Japan will make it almost impossible to pass meaningful legislation that aligns with General Recommendation 39, including recommendations such as 5AA to adopt and effectively implement legislation that prevents, prohibits, and responds to gender-based violence. As evidenced by last week's news of 3 more women being violently attacked by U.S. Marines in the Ryukyu Islands, interpersonal violence by military servicemen on Ryukyuan women is an extremely acute issue. Data on violence by U.S. military personnel specifically on Ryukyuan women, however, is difficult to obtain because official reporting does not disaggregate Ryukyuans as indigenous or even a distinct group. Instead, the Japanese government argues that because we speak Japanese, have Japanese passports, and are educated in the Japanese education system, we are Japanese. Instead, statistics are conducted by analyzing these types of crimes within the prefecture. Ryukyuans are the majority population within Okinawa Prefecture, and so reasonable approximations of the disproportionate effects of military violence on Ryukyuan women and girls can be made, but this distinction does not show up in reporting. Because of structural inequalities that cause Ryukyuan women to be in closer proximity to military men, it is Ryukyuan women who are being attacked. Updated statistics are needed, but the data from the period from 2001 to 2018 shows that the prosecution rate for these types of crimes for cases from Okinawa Prefecture is about 13%, or 1/3 of Japan's national average. There are no timely or effective means for achieving justice for these types of crimes due to issues of jurisdiction and hurdles for extradition across the fence line. So long as there are military bases in the Ryukyu Islands, it will be impossible to enact General Recommendation 39. CEDAW had the opportunity to invoke General Recommendation 39 in reference to Ryukyuan women and girls in its periodic report on Japan from last year, but in the 2 references to this issue, the report did not identify Ryukyuans as indigenous peoples. We implore the treaty bodies to cross-reference each other's work so that these such slips do not happen again. Finally, we invite Japan or the United States to address this issue in a statement while the permanent forum is going, so that we can learn what their plan is to address these grave violations. Ipe Nihei Debitan.